I'm Mike.
And I'm Adam.
And this is Stuff and Waffle. Two friends talking about stuff, and often as not, waffling with frequent reference to Bond cars.
Now, I'm gonna hit you with a topic that I know isn't your forte, but bear with me.
It's not the one about where babies come from, is it?
No, not that one. I told you, read the book we got you.
Yeah, the diagrams confuse me, but anyway, we'll
get you a pop-up book next time.
Yeah, no.
Right, this one is...
That fell apart quick, didn't it?
Oh, God. Just seconds. It's fine.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Right. Motorsport. That's the area I was referring to.
I thought it might be.
And I know it's, like I said, it's not your thing, but there are certain bits that I think can sort of spark your interest.
Yeah.
And for instance, this particular topic, I'm not going to dwell on this for hours or anything. I just think this is worth a little jibber jabber.
Okay.
It comes from the world of rallying.
Ah, okay. Well, that is of more interest than some other events. Yes.
Yeah, I can. For me, I think that is it's got that relevance to the road ish. I mean, now they're a bit crazy with the cars, but you can still sort of identify them as cars.
You can, yes. Yeah. They are vaguely similar to the cars you might actually see on the road. Yes.
Yes, and for the listener, we're recording this on the Thursday after the Monte Carlo Rally.
Ooh.
And you could be forgiven for thinking that it was taking place 10, 15 years earlier. Because
really,
yes, because when you look at the results, you go, "You what?" Because Sebastian Loeb won it.
Okay,
and the significance of that is, well, he retired from full time WRC events in 2012.
That's a bit weird, then.
Yeah, he's come back a few times in between to do events that he quite liked.
Okay.
Including Spanish round in 2018, which was his last win prior to winning the Monte Carlo Rally last weekend.
Okay.
And he did that at, for rally in terms of the ripe old age of 47. Which is not too shabby at all. One other thing that must be noted as well, his exceptional co-driver, because he parted a little while back with his long-term co-driver, Daniel Eleanor, and he used someone that had been it worked with him before, doing sort of test runs and things like that. That was a lady called Isabelle Galmichi.
Well done.
Yeah, lovely French lady. Day job, she's a maths teacher. But particular weekend, she popped out to be the winning co-driver on the Monte.
This is all very surreal.
Yeah, you can imagine going back to school on the Monday and going, "Oh, Miss, you didn't half reek of champagne." I know.
Yes. She fell over the desk on the way in. Yes.
And to be honest, what a pairing. You think Seb Loeb is 47 and Isabel is 50.
That is impressive.
And showing some of these young upstarts how it's done.
Yeah. Very good. Very good, especially if he'd already retired.
He'd already retired. He'd already retired from WRC. He was still competing in other things. Like, for instance, the week previous, he finished second in class on the Dakar.
Oh, Struth, that's quite hardcore.
Yeah, so he's pretty good.
Still on it, isn't he?
He's still on it. He's one of those irritating sort of chaps where you go, I'm going to just sort of chance my arm at anything, and he turns out he's rather good at quite a lot of things, because
most of it, yes.
I think it must have been after he did his sort of proper retirement from WRC, barring the sort of events that he fancied. I think it must have been 2015, 2014, somewhere around there. He went and did a couple of seasons of World Touring Cars, finished top 3 in the championship, won some races.
Yeah.
He competed in FIA GT series, but as his own team, he went and got himself a McLaren GT3 car, won some races.
As you do.
Yep. He competed at Le Mans for Pescarolo. Best finish was second in class. He's all right no matter what he's driving, really.
He's on that, isn't he?
Yeah. So yes, he's all right. And I just thought that was worth noting this week, because that's not something that happens all the time, is it?
No. That's impressive. That's impressive. I do have more interest in rally than Formula One. I have to say.
Well, it's like we said, it's more relevance to the road, and you think, well, that's what's really a bit odd for the WRC at the moment, though, is because we've started this season. That was the opening round, the Monte. So first in the championship is Sebastian Loeb, who isn't in the championship. Yes. Second in the championship, who finished second to Loeb, is Sebastian Ogier, who isn't in the championship. He's doing select events for Toyota to lend a hand.
Right, just helping out.
Yeah, just helping out. He just fancied. Okay. Well, he's become successful in his own right and won the countless championships in the same way that Loeb did. So those two can basically pick and choose what they want to do and when they want to do it. No one's going to argue, especially when you're Mr. Loeb as well, because winning the Monte, that is his 80th WRC win. Okay. And that's his 8th win at the Monte as well.
Yeah, they're going to listen to him, aren't they?
Yeah. And it's also the new era of cars as well, because we finished the previous season with it's a weird one, because they're called WRC cars, and you go, well, yeah, surely it is, because it's a World Rally Championship. But these new cars are called Rally 1. That's their specification, basically. And it's the first time they've used hybrids.
Oh, right. Okay.
So, and of note, the car that Loeb won in was for M Sport, who run the Ford team, and it was the new Puma. That was the car.
Okay, the new little SUV thing that Ford are doing. Yeah,
I have to say, in rally trim, it looks the part, because it doesn't look out of proportion on the rally stage with all its aero. It just looks like a rallying hatchback.
Okay, fair enough. Yes, I suppose, like you say, more in proportion than it is on the road. Yes,
but it's a bit of a new era, and I mean, it's quite interesting to see M Sport just go in there and do that straight away, because previously it's been Toyota and Hyundai that have been doing it. M Sport have been running the Fiestas, and they just haven't been quite as competitive.
No,
but they came out came out fighting. I mean, I don't know how much of that is Loeb doing it. It's a tricky one. You have to bear in mind that while the first two finishers in the rally weren't permanent members, third place was Craig Breen, who was also driving a Puma. So,
right.
But I mean, when you look at it in time difference, for instance, between Loeb and Ogier, who finished first and second, so over the entire 17 stages, the difference between them was 10.5 seconds.
That's not very much.
And I want to caveat that as well. On the final stage, Ogier got a jump start and a penalty of 10 seconds added to his time. So actually, in time travelled, minus penalties, it was 0.5 of a second difference.
Ooh. Close as you like.
That's not a lot.
No, it's not.
No. So it's a difficult one, and so Craig Breen, the permanent fixture in the championship, finished third, so he's the one who will effectively be leading the championship, really, once things get underway a little bit. But yeah, it's I was impressed with the new cars, and I was extremely impressed with the old pairing showing how it's done.
That is good stuff, isn't it?
Yeah, that's not to be snubbed. That's one of those things that doesn't always happen, but sometimes a bit of sport, those sort of things. There's a bit of a shake-up. I remember we touched on it a little bit with our museum episode when Joey Dunlop turned up at the TT at the age of 48.
Yes,
and won. And you go, well,
yes.
How have you done that?
Yes. Well, age is no guarantee of cocking it up.
That's it. Yeah, it's
yes.
As long as you're not decrepit, you're right. But he got out and he they do the you drive up on the kind of plinth thing. They do it down near the Monaco Harbour, I think.
Right. Yeah.
For this particular one, and the car, and then the driver and co-driver stand up there, and it's got the overhead thing with sponsors and Monte Carlo Rally 2022, and you have all your photos taken and such like. He was so pleased. He limbered up and did a backflip.
It's true.
So he's in full working order there.
He's all right, isn't he? Yeah, as long as he didn't need an ambulance after that. Yeah.
No, he didn't. Well, actually, in fairness to him, he in his younger years he was actually a gymnast.
That probably will help. Yes.
Yeah, so he was being quite a successful young gymnast, and then he decided mid-90s, I'll do rallying instead.
As you do.
Yeah, that natural progression.
Yeah, absolutely. You can. I'm surprised more people don't follow that path. Yeah, it's so logical, isn't it? When you think about it, silly we hadn't thought of it before.
Yeah, of course. Yeah. I didn't really understand why I had to explain it to you, really.
No, I'm sorry. I've just been a bit thick, really. Well done them.
Yes, that gives us a bit of hope, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. I suppose it does, really.
Yeah, but but potentially not completely useless. Well, that's good. We'll have that.
I'll try a bit of rallying. See what happens. Yeah, be fine. Plenty of lanes around here.
Yeah, we'll go for it. We'll be fine. Yeah. We'll be rich, famous, and all done.
Or dead.
Now, a couple of weeks ago, I promised that I wouldn't be informative and do current affairs again. But I've got some.
Yeah, if you could try and keep that to a minimum. Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I say current affairs, and it's not exactly everyday car consumer news, but it is important nonetheless. We covered the fact that the Taycan GTS was released, and along with it came the Sport Turismo variant.
We enjoyed that very much.
We did. We've had additional news this week to say that the Sport Turismo is available in all Taycan variants now.
Oh, that's tremendous.
Yep. So for the cash-strapped of us, as if we could even afford it, the base spec now can be had in Sport Turismo form. So you can have
there isn't a version for people as cash-strapped as we are.
No. So you can have your two-wheel drive Taycan in a state form.
Oh,
I just thought that was
start aspiring to that. I think, yeah. I mean, it's fairly well documented. I'm a bit of a Tesla man, but I could turn my head. That could.
That relatively speaking, will sell like hotcakes.
It will. They will fly out of the showrooms. Yes.
Yes.
That is brilliant. Yes, they've done a good thing there. So you can now get the entry-level Taycan effectively as an estate.
That's right. Or, I mean, if you're feeling incredibly flush, you can have a Turbo S Sport Turismo.
Ooh.
So you can have the top of the range, fastest, take your face off. I've got a load of stuff in the estate
in the back
to take to the dump. Yeah.
You can be through that little narrow gate at very high speed.
Yep.
Yes, that's lovely. That.
So
wow, I am very pleased with that bit of news.
I was curious whether it was going to happen, but and then it did. Thinking, well, it would make. They did it with the Cross Turismo. That was basically available in nearly all the variants.
Yeah, that does make sense.
But I just think I bet that will really just go now. We'll be seeing them here, there, and everywhere. Because
Yeah, well, to a point.
I
Yeah.
mean, the Taycan is not a cheap vehicle, but I see it way more often than you think you should.
True, even round where we live.
Mm.
Yeah. Um, I'm just trying to get an idea of some prices here.
Oh,
Um,
because we'll be thinking entry level. Oh, good.
Entry level. Here we go.
High 70s, is it?
The uplift over the saloon version is only £800.
Facts.
So that means the range starts at £73,650
For a Sport Turismo.
for a rear-wheel drive Taycan Sport Turismo producing 326 brake horsepower.
Oh,
Um,
yes.
that's
Well,
84,830 for the 4S.
okay. So that'll get
435
you.
horsepower.
Yeah, that'll get you your second motor at that point, won't it?
It will, yes, because yeah, that's right. Four-wheel drive is dual motor, and then 104,990 for the GTS, which is
Yep.
517 horsepower.
Yep. And then, yeah, and then for the obscenely rich above that, we've got the turbo, and then the
Turbo.
Turbo S.
The turbo 625 horsepower at 117,670 pounds, and the turbo S 761 horsepower. That's bonkers. 2.8 seconds to 62. That's getting very close to the Model S Plaid. Not quite there, but getting very close. 140,080 pounds. Quite. You'd have thought they'd be able to knock the 80 quid off, wouldn't you?
You'd have thought so,
I
but
mean,
then
come on, guys.
yeah, you can do that, and then you think, well, like you say, it does get awfully close to the Plaid, but
But never mind about that one. There's 73,650 for the base one.
it's it'll really sell.
See that if you PCP that, you're probably looking at somewhere, a few grand down, probably looking at somewhere 500-600 a month for that.
It's an awful lot of car.
There's a lot of people could afford that.
That will sell.
That's going to do well. That, yeah. Now you can get a Model S for that sort of price. The Model S isn't an estate, of course.
That's the bit that will swing it.
Well, it's hatchback, but it's not an estate.
There
Yeah.
will be some sales swung purely on the fact of the body style on this.
Yeah, there will. There will. Absolutely, there will. Yeah, that's a really good price. That's a really good price. The only thing, as we've said before, that lets that down is the range and the charging options for it. Charging options will improve. The range is not quite where Tesla is, but
just
for
plan
the
ahead
rest
a
of
little bit. Yeah,
for the rest of the package, yeah,
yeah.
I think that's going to do really well. They're doing just the right thing, and they've not done a bloody SUV. They've done a proper estate car. Well done, Porsche.
Yeah, I mean, they will do an SUV, but the fact that
Well,
they
of course
haven't
they
made it
will.
their priority.
No, they haven't done it first, and that is absolutely tremendous. 73 grand. It's only 800 quid more expensive than the saloon.
Oh, yep.
That's really good. I give them credit for that. That's really good. I'm not going to call that an affordable car.
No, there's not. We are not talking that. We're not saying that is a bargain. We're just saying that is
it's
priced
more
well for where it is in the market.
Yes, that is more affordable to a lot more people than you would have thought.
Yeah.
So you get that on a PCP deal. You'd certainly do that, I think, for less than £1,000 a month, and there's a lot of people could afford that.
Yeah. There's plenty of people out there probably dropping significantly more than that on a middle of the range spec Audi diesel estate.
Absolutely,
like an A6 or something like that. That's
absolutely. absolutely. And that will win out. The Porsche will win out over that in almost every way.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the other thing, because you factor in the fact that that's going to have almost no running costs.
That's it. It's going to cost barely anything to charge it up. I mean, if you're charging
compare
at
that
home,
to what you're paying to run a diesel Audi. Yeah, and as you say, if you're charging at home,
you're on to a winner. You get yourself the right tariff and your solar panels. You're well away.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You're going to be Your PCP actually is going to be your only cost on that car. Yeah, that's the. I'm going to keep an eye on that. That's yes. Oh dear, they've done a thing there. Yes.
Yeah,
Well done.
I thought that was worth noting.
Yes, absolutely.
I saw that this week and thought that's well done them.
Yeah, I'm impressed with that.
So I'm going to continue the theme of cars that I've seen that have been announced. Again, the one that I'm going to state now relates to an earlier episode, but isn't for everyone.
I think I know what you're going to mention because it's on my list as well.
Is it?
Let's see.
Okay. Well, the one that I've seen is the Overfinch Heritage Field Edition.
Yes.
Right, good. I'm glad you've seen that.
Yes.
What a thing.
Oh, my word. So, yes, to explain to the listener, Overfinch are a Range Rover tuning house. We touched on them, as you said, in an earlier episode, didn't we?
Yeah, we did the special one because you mentioned very specifically the Holland and Holland one.
That's right. This isn't that.
No.
Yes, I mean, I didn't know till I read about this that they were doing a Heritage Edition.
No, this was news to me this week as well.
Yeah.
But it's had all the attention because you've got your classic Range Rover there.
Based on a Series 1, isn't it?
And that's it. So
late Series 1.
Yeah. It's not a 3-door. So it's a 5-door.
No, not that early.
No, not that early. No. So it's gone through rigorous attention. So it's strengthened chassis, upgraded suspension. So it's had the springs, dampers, anti-roll bars, all beefed up. Upgraded brakes.
It's a 90s Range Rover, isn't it?
That's it. Yeah.
Yes, with a soft dash version by the look of it.
Yeah. So they've done the brakes as well. So you've got 6-pot calipers front, 4-pot rears.
Yeah.
Upgraded front and rear diff, transfer box, prop shafts, half shafts, all beefed up for one very good reason. They've added away the old V8 and they've popped in a GM LT1 6.2 litre V8.
Yes. That'll do it.
Yeah. So they've 438 horsepower and 428 pounds-feet of torque.
Oh, yeah.
And like you mentioned the interior, they've like in terms of dash and console, it's all very in keeping.
Oh, it is.
You could say, it's a very tarted up classic Range Rover, but it's still a classic Range Rover. But it's got
everything's in roughly the same place. Yes,
it's all the mod cons. So you've got everything in there that you could possibly need. So you've got all of the features that we would like in a new car today. So you've got your fancy sat nav systems. You've got your phone connectivity. You can have your CarPlay and your Bluetooths and all of that.
All of that stuff. Yes,
and your DAB radios. It's all there.
Yeah.
And obviously it's very important as well because in the boot you've still got the
booze.
You've got the booze drawer. While it isn't the Holland edition, it does still have an empty drawer which will accommodate two shotguns.
Well, it's important, as we've discovered before, to be able to get completely liquored up and fire the shotguns from the rear of the vehicle. Yes, it's a critical feature. Yeah,
it's very, very important that every pheasant in the nearby area has been obliterated.
Yeah, but you'll have had a couple of bottles, you're not actually hitting anything.
No, if you do, it's luck more than judgment.
Yeah, you might catch a few of the locals.
Yeah, you might sort of wing the gamekeeper or something like that and go, that's fine.
It's
plenty more where he came from.
to be expected. Yes,
yeah. But yes, but it
Poor
is a
old
glorious
Cecil.
looking thing.
It is a glorious looking thing. I mean, the Series 1 Range Rover is always a good looking thing, but that's tremendous. I think we should just touch on the price.
It does come with a price tag that's slightly more than your average classic Range Rover.
Good Lord. Yes.
Including all of the relevant taxes, that comes out at a whopping £340,000.
Bargain.
Yeah. But, I mean, if we had the wherewithal, that would be one each, wouldn't it?
Oh, it would.
Yeah.
Series 1 Rangey that actually works. Yeah.
And tears your face off with that sort of performance.
Yeah, that's wonderful thing.
Yeah, I'm pleased you saw that too.
Yeah, no, yeah, indeed, I did. That was going to be something I was going to mention. Yeah, because you can't pass that up. And we were only recently talking about Overfinch, so
that's it.
Yeah.
But yeah, we go more relevant consumer car news there.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, no, I think that's absolutely. We it's that or a Mark 1 Focus, isn't it? Let's be honest.
It's there's nothing in between. No, the only thing in between is a Taycan Sport Turismo.
Oh, so that is in between. You're right. Yes.
So that's it.
In fact, it's quite a bit closer to the Mark 1 Focus.
So what you're saying is that we've given 3 price brackets. That's what you need to do. So depending on where you're positioned financially, you're going to buy a Mark 1 Focus, a Sport Turismo Taycan, or an Overfinch Heritage Field Edition.
But I think we can be proud of that, mate.
Good. Right. There we go. Normally,
we've sorted the entire car market there.
Occasionally, we do dish out consumer advice. I think we could have missed there slightly.
Yeah, you reckon?
Oh my goodness me!
We're not catering for all buyers there. I think we are.
Yeah. Why not? It'd be all right. You got any others while we're on the news topic?
Oh dear. Let's see here. Did I have any others?
Couldn't remember whether you said you had another one.
I didn't. No, I was just looking. I was just checking my list.
Okay, that's fine.
No, I didn't.
No. Okay, right. Let's bring it back to our usual crap then. Sorry.
Carefully selected topics.
I labelled it wrong, didn't I?
You did, yes.
Right. I watched a film the other day, one that...
No, we're not allowed to talk about that.
No, it's not like that.
Oh, okay.
It was a disappointment, if I'm honest. But it was one of those ones that I thought, I probably should tick this off just for curiosity purposes. And that was the 5th of the Die Hard films.
Oh, yes, crap, that.
Absolute tosh.
It is rubbish. Absolute rubbish. Yeah, it's awful. Yeah.
I really, really struggled to follow any sort of plot in that, really. All over the shop.
Yeah, I watched it once when it was quite new, and I've not bothered again. Yeah, it's
just a bit Russian for no apparent reason.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. Yeah. No. However,
it's crap. Yeah. It's just
however,
crap.
I get the feeling Mercedes paid a lot of money and thought this was going to be a good film.
You might be right.
Would you like me to list the Mercedes that I spotted? There's probably more, but these are the things that I spotted.
Please do, sir.
So during the events of John McClane bothering Putin,
yes,
there was a 190E. There was
a good one.
There was various C-Class, the various C-Class coupes, CLS, E-Class, G-Wagons, GLs.
Yeah, one on top of a Porsche, I seem to recall.
He drove across several vehicles. Yes, you're correct, including 996, I do believe.
Oh, it's a terrible thing to do.
Sacrilege, that. Yes, GLs, SLS Roadster, Sprinter, Unimog, Vito, Zetros, and from the premium brand, a Maybach 57.
Oh, basically everything the company makes.
Basically, at the time, I think it was everything they had and went, let's just send it off to this production company because it's Die Hard. It's going to be massive exposure. Oops.
Oops, it was a crap one.
Dreadful. But
it is not without precedent that because Die Hard 4 did have some Mercedes action in it.
Now that's been a long time since I've seen that.
Okay, there were quite a lot of Mercedes sprinters in that.
Were they actually sprinters, or were they? Am I right in thinking there were sometimes in America? I do believe their badge is Dodge.
Good question.
Oh
I
my
would
goodness,
have to check that.
Oh my goodness! Right, let's have a look. So let's
you got to go in. Yeah.
Right, I'm going to check to make sure I've not made that up, and that the sprinter was in fact badged as something else.
No, I think it was Mercedes badged.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So I am right in thinking they were not necessarily in a film, but they are Dodge sprinters.
Okay. Wow, that's a new one on me.
Yeah. No, not even a commercial vehicle rebadging passes me by.
No, you're all over that, aren't you? I'm impressed. You deeply disturbed individual. Now, okay. Here's one for you then.
Yeah,
what other Die Hard movie featured in one sequence what we would now think of as a classic Mercedes?
That would be the opening towards the opening sequence of the original Die Hard, where Alan Rickman as Hans Gruber rocks up with his crew in W124 260E out the front of Nakatomi.
There is that one. That's not the one I was thinking of, but you are correct about that.
That's the one that one sticks out enormously. But the other one you're thinking perhaps is in Die Hard 3, where he utterly ruins it by stealing the gentleman's vehicle because he happens to have a goddamn cellular fucking phone. As I think
that's right. That was the brand name, I believe. Yes, it was actually a 560 SEL that he utterly ruins. Yes, he swaps it for his Yugo, I believe.
Yes, built for economy, not speed.
That's right. He'll feel better when he looks on the back seat.
That's correct. Yeah.
No, I was my gold bar. Yeah, that one.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah, so the films are not without their Mercedes action all the way through, actually. But yeah, you're right. It does go a bit silly in Die Hard 5. But since the film is utter toss, I don't think we need to worry about it.
No, just awful. Right. Okay, while we're on this topic then, we need to clarify whether... right. I'm in already. Internet Movie Car Database. Oh dear, the nerdiness has paid off a treat. It was a Dodge Sprinter
in Die Hard 4.
Well, no, actually, the Car Database has got it wrong.
You're going to argue with the website.
I'm going to say that you got it right. It was badged Mercedes.
It was. I'm just looking at some stills from the movie, and it absolutely has a Mercedes badge on the front. Yeah.
Whereas what I'm assuming is a website that is operated from America. They've said it is a Dodge Sprinter rebadged as a Mercedes.
No, it doesn't work like that. You can't put your own brand first.
No. So that's what they've done there. That's what confused me initially. There,
if you look at I'm looking at some stills from the movie, and there's a Mercedes badge on the front. I mean, it might have been a Dodge that they swapped the grille on, but it is Mercedes badged. Yeah,
that seems like an awful lot of faff.
Yeah, well, it does, doesn't it? But I mean, these things do go on for product placement. But
that can happen.
But no, Mercedes badged, definitely. But to say it's a Dodge rebadged as a Mercedes, that's wonderful.
That is
it's such an American thing to say.
That is really clutching at straws there, saying you rebadged it, you fool. Maybe
not. Think you did.
Nope. They've they got that wrong.
Yeah. Oh dear. Die Hard 4 is a substantially better movie, but than Die Hard 5, but it's still not a patch on the original.
No, this is true. Right, okay. In terms of rebadging sprinter vans, also
we
in
do
America,
seem to have got into this in quite a lot of detail.
Right, we're going. We might as well continue down the rabbit hole.
We're going deep here.
We're going deep down the rabbit hole in terms of rebadging and then associating it with other films. It was also in America rebadged as the Freightliner Sprinter.
That rings a bell, actually. I've seen that somewhere, I'm sure.
You may have seen it in the film I'm about to mention.
Oh.
It was seen quite prominently in Bad Boys 2.
Well, there we go. We only talked about that recently as well.
Yeah, so Bad Boys 2, you do, depending on how recently you've seen it, you may recall that the drug smuggling occurred by ramming the ecstasy tablets in dead corpses.
I'd forgotten about that.
Yes, so that does happen. But the mortuary was transporting dead bodies in a Freightliner Sprinter, and there was a car chase involving dead bodies falling out of it.
Oh God, there wasn't there?
There was, and they were the bad boys themselves were chasing the van, weren't they? They had themselves they'd nicked a Cadillac CTS to give chase. And as you recall,
fine vehicle,
fine vehicle, very good choice. It was being test driven at the time by none other than Dan Marino.
Oh, of course.
Yeah, that was good.
Yeah. I have forgotten a lot of this. It's a long time since I've seen it.
Yes, Martin Lawrence says to him, he reassures Dan Marino and says, don't worry, he's going to test drive the shit out of it.
Yeah. There we go.
There we go. So,
retain that line next time we go for a test drive or something.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So there we go. That's really all over the shop there. A lot of information about sprinters.
It's far more than we wanted to know, really, I think, there. But that's tremendous.
I assume the Freightlines and the Dodge variants rust in the same immediate fashion that the Mercedes ones do.
I would think so.
Because, I mean, you barely have to complete the transaction and a rust bubble has appeared.
Well, they do look essentially the same, just with different grills. I mean,
they do, but how have they done that? How has a modern manufacturer? I know Mercedes had a bit of a rust issue, sort of late 90s.
They did get a reputation for being a bit of crap. Yeah,
but they've sorted that. But no one told the commercial vehicles department.
No, whoever's making the cars hasn't shared that bit of information with the commercial department. No.
I mean, my uncle bought himself one. He uses it for work. He's got a 61 plate, and it's rotten. How has that happened?
How has that happened? Yeah, absolutely. I know. It's bizarre, isn't it?
And it's not a cheap van.
No, very much at the upper end of the market. Yeah, it's something that Ford have dealt with the Transit. Which was legendarily bad at rusting.
Yeah, that was a bit of a rock box, but fine now.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Oh dear, it's odd.
You'd still buy a Transit even now if you need a van. You just buy a Transit.
Well, I suppose you would, really, wouldn't you?
Not that it's an area I'm particularly expert in, but I think if I was in the market for a van, I wouldn't think about it too long. You just get a Transit. It's you just do.
I mean, and if you don't, then there's a lot of sort of in between manufacturers and models, and basically you scratch beneath the surface, and it's all quite a lot of French vehicles actually.
Yes, Renault do quite a nice line in vans.
Yeah, they do that, and you'll in Peugeot too. You'll notice that Peugeot engine will be in everything really.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah,
yes,
absolutely. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
How on earth did we get onto van?
I don't know. We've ended up being Stuff and Waffle, the van podcast. There, that's no one expected that.
No,
Where
then
did we?
let's not even get into camper conversions. We were talking about Die Hard. That's how we got into
Die
this.
Hard 5. How did, honestly, geez. Right, okay. Die Hard 5. And well, it killed its franchise, didn't it? Because there was talk of a sixth, and everyone after that fifth one went, "Nah, you were all right."
No, I think we're all done here, mate. Yes.
A very wise choice.
I think this has run its course. Yeah, well, it was awful.
Yeah, it was. I mean, 4 was a nice sort of, oh, he's back. That'll do nicely. I could have left it there personally.
I quite like 4 now and again. It has some moments in it, but 5 I've seen once and I'll probably never watch it again.
Yeah, I shan't be rushing back to that one.
No, I don't think so.
No.
1 and 3 are my favourites from that series.
Yeah, they are. Two is, well,
not very good.
Well, it's at Christmas, but it's just not in a tower, is it?
No, it's not. No, it's not.
You know it's going to be iffy from that opening scene with that weird colonel or whatever he is, just doing some weird martial arts practice in the buff. You go, he's very shiny and sweaty. What's he been doing? Dirty.
Don't think about what he's been doing.
And it's proper 80s. Well, no, I say proper 80s. That must have been 1990.
It must have been. Yeah.
Yeah, but he does that thing where he's all doing his strutting his stuff and going, yeah, I'm doing it really good. Check out my muscles. Like, put some pants on, dickhead. And then he turns the television off as if he were flying around to shoot a gun and going, no, that's a remote control, you twat.
Oh yeah, because that really finishes it nicely, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, you must sort of look at him and go, is it the size of a nub?
Never seen a lady's.
No.
Yeah, no.
No, he's got the firm muscles, but he's never touched a booby. Oh dear. Right.
It's bad, isn't it? It's bad. It's not a good film. No, skip over that one. Don't watch 2. Watch the first one and the third one.
That's it. 2 is just one at an airport, but done badly.
Yeah, it is. Well, 3 very much continues where 1 left off. You could skip over 2 and it still all makes sense.
Yeah. You'd be fine with that.
Yeah.
3 was a good idea, but bringing in the second character.
Yes, bringing in the villain's brother, I think, is excellent.
Villain's brother, bit of Samuel L. Jackson for good measure.
Well, he's just brilliant in that. I mean, we're not giving away any spoilers here. This film is quite old.
Yeah, you probably should have watched it by now.
Yes. Yes, indeed.
No, he does well. We seem to have gone down the Stuff and Waffle film podcast now. Another film that was watched in recent weeks, actually, on the Samuel L. Jackson route. One of his lesser known films, The Long Kiss Goodnight.
Oh, I don't think I've seen that.
That's very good. It's got him and Gina Davis in it.
Oh.
She has amnesia, and he's a private investigator who helps her find out her very strange past. And then antics ensue.
Yes, they do. Yes.
Very good. It's quite amusing.
Okay, well, I'll seek that out. That one's passed me by.
Yeah, that's a good bit of action in it, but very amusing. And there are some nondescript cars in there. Nothing to get too excited about. Some good classic American cars, actually.
Okay.
Yeah, it's worth it for that. And they look properly ropey as well, so I like that.
Oh, yeah, I like a bit of ropey. Yeah.
Yes. Right. Okay. God knows how we ended up there.
Drifting all over the place here.
Oh, we have ruined it today. We were doing current affairs. We were doing really well.
Yes. We've ended up on 1980s movies.
Oh, no, that was right. Long Kiss Goodnight was mid-90s, so you're fine.
Oh, that's perfectly all right then. Yes, 90s movies.
Don't worry about that. We've covered Mercedes commercial vehicles,
and all the variations thereof.
Yes, right. Okay, I'll tell you what. Let's bring it to a head with something car related, very specific car related. This is something that I showed you earlier in the week that was brought to my attention by Rob, and it's that classified article that I sent to you.
Oh,
and, and it's proof that the world has gone insane.
Yeah.
I like Japanese cars.
You do.
I like them a lot.
You do.
I would, in certain circumstances, probably pay over the odds for the right car.
Yeah.
If I had the wherewithal.
There's over the odds, and then there's over the odds, though.
There is. We've touched on Skylines before in a previous episode, and I said to you that my favourite of the variants is the R33.
You did claim that to be so, yes.
And I stand by that.
Yes.
And the holy grail of R33 Skylines is the Nismo 400R. There are 40 in existence. Their engines are Le Mans derived. They are very much the most special of special editions. Yeah. They are rare and they are tasty.
Mm-hmm.
And there is one for sale in the UK.
There is.
It is for sale for £1.6 million.
Yeah. Now, we've touched on how the used car market is quite buoyant at the moment.
It's got 38,000 miles on it. It's not even delivery miles. This has been used.
What has amused me is that the advert is currently on piston heads, and just below where it says £1.6 million, there's a little button that says finance this car.
Yeah, you can click that.
You can.
And then you can probably count in milliseconds how quickly they tell you to do one.
Yes. Not for you.
Unbelievable.
Be on your way, grotty little man.
It's in wonderful condition.
Oh, I'm
brilliant color.
Arguing that it's lovely.
What a thing! But £1.6 million for a Nissan Skyline.
That has gone a bit silly, isn't it? It really has.
And I love a bit of motorsport heritage. Le Mans derived engine, like properly. This is you can see the proper links between this and the racing car. This is important. This is good, but no.
£1.6 million.
But we should state as well, it is for sale for that. That doesn't mean it's going to sell for that.
True.
It's very
probably go for more.
It's very difficult to gauge it because, well, there aren't very many and they don't sell very often, so you don't really know where the market sits.
But we do know the market in general is a bit silly at the moment.
It's insane.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it could do it.
Do you think? You think it could actually sell for that?
Yeah, at the moment, I do. Yeah. Yeah, I do. I think I'm not. Yeah, we need to keep an eye on that. I'd be interested to know what that actually does. I think the market is just daft enough at the moment to get that.
I mean, you could well be right. It's an unknown quantity at the moment, isn't it?
It is an unknown quantity, isn't it? I think we should come back to this when we know what it actually did sell for. Yeah, like you say, it's lovely, but come on.
Yeah, someone's button mashed there. Surely,
you'd have thought. I must admit, I did have to look at it a couple of times when you first sent that to me.
Yeah,
I thought, no, 160 grand. Surely you mean there?
No, I do not. It's been a well publicised article. I mean, the fact that it's in their classifieds and Pistonheads have deemed it worthy enough to pop it on the homepage this week.
Absolutely.
There's an actual article going. This suggests that price is that those numbers were input on purpose.
Not under their Shed of the Week or Brave Pill categories, interestingly.
No, to be fair, it should go under Brave Pill as well.
It really should, yes.
Yes, because if anything goes wrong with that, you're going to have to ring up Nissan headquarters in Japan and go, can you put me through to the Nismo department, please? Because I'd like to bend over for you.
Yes.
Dearie me.
Yeah. That's... Yeah, it's not just the buying of that, is it? The looking after of it is going to require some quite deep pockets.
That's going to ruin you too. Right. I'm gonna maintain a bit of Japanese here. Right, we had brief discussions about a Civic Type R not too far from me.
We did touch on that, yes.
The feelers have been put out.
Ooh.
And that's still not for sale.
Okay.
Okay. Current owner is still intending to do the work himself.
Right.
However, I've said to Kate, I said, look, I think we should let this be a little slow burner, because I think with all the will in the world, I think he's a busy boy and will not do it. And all the while, the car is not getting any better.
No, it's just going to be sat there, isn't it? Yes. Just the no pressure approach, I think, is right.
Yeah, and I think that's working a treat, because it's parked outside, it's not under a cover.
And it's going to start going fast. We're in the winter.
It's steadily looking more sad for itself. Multiple flat tires now.
Oh, really? Oh, that bad?
Yeah.
Okay.
So
right.
I'm
just really starting to go.
And we've planted the seed a little bit as well. I've said to Karen, when you talk to your friend, just let them know that. I said, look, if you think actually this is probably a bit too much work, and it would just be nice to have just cash in your pocket, like within the space of an hour or two, you could have cash in your pocket.
Oh, you could arrange that. Yeah, absolutely.
Not bother. And I said, look, I'm here, and I will take it away there and then. I will get it off your driveway, clear a space, park your other car there, so you don't have to leave it on the road.
Yeah, easy.
Yeah, I said that. Let me. I said, I think the exact phrase was, "Let it be my problem instead of yours."
Oh, beautiful.
Yeah.
Very good. Yes. Let me help you out here.
Yeah. So I've said, right. I said that it can be. I've said it can be instant. I said you can have cash or money in your bank, not a problem.
Yeah, either. Yeah.
Either or. I said
you can whiz into town and get the readies. Yeah, yeah.
I've said I've got this covered. I've got a little pot of funds where I'm thinking I've got that hunkered down. I'm thinking this is going to happen, because I just genuinely don't think this chap's got time to deal with it.
No, fair enough. Is it? I'm assuming he's not a listener of this podcast.
I really bloody hope not.
Yes.
Yeah,
I said price is going right up.
Yes. Yeah, well, I've not said a price, but I have.
And presumably he hasn't either.
He hasn't. I do believe Kaylee asked. I said, well, if he wanted to sell it now as is, what would he be after? But he's, like I said, at the moment, the party line is, no, want to hang on to it and do the work.
Okay.
But I just think
you see it's not going to happen.
I don't think it's going to happen, because he's a hard-working lad, and I don't think he got time to deal with it.
No.
So
he should hand that over then.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying I've got time to deal with it, but
no,
I'd rather have it on my driveway and worry about the logistics than have it on his driveway.
Yes, that's fair.
Yeah,
that's fair. Right, so we're going for the slow burn approach here.
Yeah, slow burn. So yes, since last time we spoke about it, there's been a bit of nudging.
Oh, very good.
So
very
good.
Like I
said, I'm happy to take it as is, no repercussions whatsoever. So this my
sold
problem.
Scene. Yeah,
that's it. Don't worry about it. If it becomes a headache, it's not your problem. You've got your cash. That's all yours.
Yeah. Yes. Nobody can take that away from you now. That's yours.
Yeah, exactly that.
Look at what you've won.
Oh,
Yes. You're going home with that. Nobody can take that away from you. All of that sort of thing.
All of that sort of thing
Yes.
is ebbing me ever closer.
Well, I think that's probably enough of that for this week. Check us out on all the various social medias and things. Thank you very much for listening.